Hello students, I am here with the second part of persuasion. We have discussed the very aptest definition of persuasion and also the variables, the models of persuasion, source, target, messages, and also the various kind of source statement through which one may persuade the other. Let us talk about something new when we talk of persuasion. What are the influencing factor when we talk of persuasion? A person's decision making style derives from the 4 psychological states. They are usually paired with one of the 2 from the opposite function, so that is combination of the 2 preferences. The 4 types have been categorized as sensing and thinking, that is ST, sensing and thinking, that is a pair, sensing and feeling, that is SF, intuitive and feeling, that is NF, intuitive and thinking. So, see, the 4 categories are there: sensing, thinking ST, sensing, feeling SF, intuitive feeling NF, intuitive thinking NT. The ST person, that is sensing and thinking person, focuses on specific and variables fact like stability and certainty, emphasize what can be achieved in the short term, prepare well and have facts and any other data readily available, explain things in a logical fashion, conduct one's dealing in a business-like and detached manner, leaving the personal side out of the proceedings, avoid talking too much. The SF, sensing and feeling person, focuses on variable facts, beliefs in personal loyalty, trust, being helpful and friendly. Use all your natural empathy to conduct things on a personal basis after you have got to know them better. Look for shared interest. Back up your attentive listening with positive body language. Highlight the benefits to them of your proposal. Conduct the discussion in a methodical, step by step manner. The NF person. What is that NF person? Intuitive and feeling person recognizes a wide range of possible opportunities and decides by weighing values and considering others. Ask lots of questions and then listen a lot. Show your natural friendliness during your interactions. Try to go with the flow of what they want and adapt as necessary. Highlight what is new in what you are proposing. Check the body language for any disagreement or confusion. This type often never voices their concern, so one has to look for leakage. Then question to unearth any concern. Finally, the intuitive thinking person prefers a variety of possible solutions and then selects by impersonal analysis. Probe for their own ideas at the outset. Show that you recognize their vision, concept and beware of giving the impression of being patronizing. Concentrate on business quickly and save any personal conversation. Accept that this type may bombard you with critical comments. Be logical in your proposal and emphasize cause and effect. Be punctual and well organized. In the middle of a face-to-face meeting with a client or whoever, the telephone rings, he apologizes and takes the call. While he is speaking, do you look at him and smile constantly? Because you have got the time. So you can think and you can make maximum impression. Look at him and smile constantly. Make a signal to him and sneak out to go to the toilet or chat to the secretary or receptionist. Turn your gaze away from him and perhaps occupy yourself with some papers or make some notes. So you can do this during this period when the client is busy. Use body language to show your impatience, hoping it will make him hurry up. -2, these are certain marks. -2, give him some breathing place. -4, nothing. +5, you are making him feel comfortable now. He is secretly thanking you for it. -5, nothing. The person you are with keeps looking at her or him watch continuously during your discussion. She doesn't think you have spotted this, but for the past 20 minutes it's been distracting you and prevented you giving your best. What do? Hurriedly bring your discussion to a close. Just ignore it. It could be a nervous mannerism or obsessive compulsive disorder. Stop talking at each point that she looks at her or him watch. Ask him or her politely, how long have we got? And the marking is 0, +1, -1, +5. That is, you should find out the real problem this way. You have discovered your red ink pen has leaked and there is lot of ink showing down front of your shirt. As you enter the interviewer's office, your mind is on how you can possibly conceal red ink. Do you? Now, these are the conditions. Say that you have just returned from a holiday in England. Hope they won't notice. Keep your arms folded at all times. Explain on arrival what is happened and make fun of your carelessness. So the first, that say that you have just returned from holiday, 0. Then hope they won't notice, -5. Keep your arms folded at all time, -4. And finally explain on arrival what's happened and make fun of your carelessness, +5. At least they know that you know it. You are introduced to 3 new people and miss one of the names. What do? Not worry. 2 out of 3 is not bad. Ask, sorry, I didn't catch your name. Next is make a guess. And ask one of other 2 people the person's name, ideally when the person is distracted. So in A, no excuse. He could be the most important member of the group when you don't know the name of the third person. +5, second, that right thing to do. Tell her that make a guess. When you are making a guess, -10, worse than no name, the wrong name. Ask one of other 2 people the person's name, +2. Now these are the hypothetical situation. You are telephoning somebody about something that is important to you. When you get through, he asks if you would not mind keeping it short as he is in a meeting. Do you? So get it over with quickly. That is a telephonic conversation. Ask lots of questions so that it will prolong the call in a natural manner. Tell him or her that you will write to him or her. Suggest that as she is busy, you prefer to call her later in the day when she might be free. Again, it is +1, -5. She is already distracted. Again, +1 in the third sentence, third situation. In the fourth situation, +5. That gives you better chance of achieving your goal. Ways to influence and persuade. Nagging. These are the ways to influence and persuade. Nagging. We all know people who aim to persuade by talking constantly. They seem to think they can grind others into submission by simply reiterating their point of view constantly. This basically is nagging. And it does sometimes work, of course, because their colleagues or family give in a solely to get some peace. But as a general rule, others persuaded in this way probably haven't brought into the idea and are not committed to it. Caution. Others fall back on the power of their position and order others to do what they want. This, in its most unpleasant sense, is coercion. Again, their family or colleagues won't necessarily like what they are doing. If it is hard, they may well give up. More orders will be issued to rescue the idea, but again, may be unsuccessful because those involved are doing it because they had to, not because they want to. A better way. The holy grail of persuasion then is to get others to buy into the idea and want to do it your way. And the best way of doing that is in a way that others don't notice. But how? Now, the fable of the sun and the wind is a good example of this thing. The wind and the sun decided to have a competition to decide once and for all who was stronger, the sun and the wind. They agreed that the winner would be the one who could persuade a man to take off his coat. The wind blew and blew, but the man only held on more tightly to his coat. Then the sun shone gently down, and within minutes the man took off his coat. The moral here is that you can't force someone to do what they don't want. Instead, the art of persuasion is to get them to want what you want. Now, barriers to successful persuasion we should discuss. One way to think about what works in persuading others is to think about what does not work first. Now, in his book, Persuasion IQ, Kurt Mortensen lists 10 obstacles to successful persuasion. The first, thinking that you are better at persuasion than you are and therefore failing to hone your skills. Instead, take a long, hard look at yourself and see where your skills need to be improved. Trying too hard to persuade. Seeming too keen probably puts people off faster than anything else. Failing to put in the effort required to get what you want. Nothing, or at least not much, is free in this world. Talking too much. Stop and just listen to people you need to persuade. Providing too much information which just confuses people and makes them think you are trying to blind them with science. What? They ask. Are you not telling them? Getting desperate. Like insincerity, people can spot fear at a distance and don't like it. Being afraid of rejection. This can even stop people from trying to persuade in extreme cases. Not being prepared. You can't wing it every time. Your audience will see through you and will think that you value your time more highly than theirs. Making assumptions about your audience and then not being prepared to reassess when new evidence emerges. Forgetting that the whole conversation is important. You need to engage in order to persuade, right from the beginning. So research shows that there are a number of things that people like about successful persuader. Kurt Motenschen's research suggests that these elements are largely emotional. They include keeping promises, being reliable and taking responsibility, being sincere, genuine and honest, knowing their subject and believing in it, building rapport and being entertaining, as well as not arguing and providing solutions that work. The key skills for successful persuasion then are pretty wide. First of all, successful persuaders tend to have high self-esteem and good emotional intelligence more generally. They really believe that they will succeed. You also need to remain motivated and believe in yourself and your ideas. Additionally, you need to understand how your audience thinks. Key skills here include empathy and good listening skills, including active listening. If you listen, your audience will usually tell you what and how they are thinking. It also helps to be able to build rapport. People like those who take time to become a friend as well as an influencer. It follows really, if we are honest, we would all much rather do what a friend suggests than someone we dislike. However sensible the idea, building rapport also helps to build trust. And for more about building trust, have a look at other things, the day-to-day, discussion. Move into that. Good persuaders or influencers also have a very good communication skills. So, improve your communication skill. The final skill of good persuader is being organized. They do their homework, they know their audience and they know their subject. They have taken time to organize themselves and think about what they want to achieve. For more about this, again, you make a survey, you talk to people, you know about such kind of activities like persuasion and the people who are a persuader. It takes him but develop these skills, and it takes time to develop such skills, and you will start to develop authentic power, which means that you have power because people believe in what you are saying. Once you have that, you are likely to be much more successful in persuading and influencing others, whether at home or at work. So, persuasive skills are required. One needs to influence project stakeholder. These stakeholders might include customers, co-workers, current or prospective bosses, business partners, subordinates, donors, funding sources, judges, juries, consumers, voters, and prospective employee. The process of persuasion typically involves such stages: assessing the preference, need, and predispositions of a targeted individual or group. Persuading others is most easily accomplished by explaining how a proposal you are suggesting would be mutually advantageous. In the sales sector, this stage of the persuasion process is called consultative advising, during which a skillful salesperson will first ask a client about their preferences or requirements before presenting a product solution. Example: analyzing a job and custom tailoring a cover letter so that it is in sync with the key qualification of a position. Designing an incentive program for a sales team. Developing a campaign slogan for a political candidate. Tailoring advertisement copy to the preferences of a target demographic group. Writing the script for a telephone fundraising pitch in order to raise money for a charitable organization. Once you have established what exactly target stakeholders need, you can use this information to begin to build rapport with them. Keep in mind that in many work environments, building rapport is never-ending process. For instance, even after you have achieved team buy-in for a project, you should continue to build rapport for future collaboration by praising team members throughout the phases of the project's completion for a job well done. Asking a customer how her son or daughter is faring in college as part of building a relationship with the student and their family. Complimenting an employee on the successful completion of a task. Composing a letter or email to prospective donors on behalf of a school's fundraising effort. Praising someone after they have completed an especially rigorous stage of their workout program. Now, clearly articulating the benefits of accepting a proposed agenda or course of action. Having spent some time in the first stage of persuasion, listing the needs of your stakeholder that you can supply, you will be well equipped to describe to them the benefits of adopting your proposal. In sales, this stage is sometimes described as making value-added proposition, but focusing on the benefits of your offering is a good strategy no matter what the circumstances. Well, examples: articulating the benefits of working for an employer as part of a recruiting information event held on the campus. Encouraging a patient to adopt a healthier lifestyle. Presenting an argument to a judge for a motion during a trial or pre-trial proceeding. Well, presenting counterpart in order to overcome any objection. Educating a customer more thoroughly about the multiple benefits of a product, or by presenting competitor analysis, negotiating a salary increase or additional vacation time, negotiating or renegotiating the terms of a contract agreement, presenting a rationale to upper management in order to expand departmental budget, responding to opposing counsel during the legal court trial. Well, this is high time to discuss about the influencing skill. Learn how to use the skill of persuasion through influencing, building commitment and getting result through influencing. We define leadership as a collective social process leading to direction, alignment and commitment toward the organization's goals. In reality, groups or terms consist of individual people with different values, needs, visions and agenda. As we convince and persuade others around us, bosses, peers, direct report, influence is occurring continuously at the workplace. Without influencing others, a leader cannot make his or her vision take place. Influence comes from the Latin word influere, meaning flow into. Influence is the ability of a person or leader to affect, to shape or to transform the opinion, convincing, and the behaviors or action persuading of others people without necessarily having a formal authority over them. Influencing is soft or personal power, independent of one's positional power. It allows leader to get things done and to achieve desired outcome without coercion. Influence is something we learn in childhood. It takes place in families, among friends, in communities, at the workplace and in society more broadly. An average person influences 100 or more people a day. Our research shows that influencing is one of the 4 critical leadership competencies for every leader at every level in the organization. Well, we help leaders to understand the 3 outcomes of influencing, the 3 types of the tactics that can be used to influence others. Outcome of influencing. Influence is an essential part of leadership. The position of a leader is an organization and the power it gives are not enough to motivate or inspire people. A leader promotes or sells their ideas or the ideas of those that they represent. This is particularly important in today's organization, which have become less hierarchical and less dependent on individual heroes. The outcomes of influencing are commitment, compliance, or resistance. So, commitment, leaders with developed influencing skills achieving their goals more effectively. Compliance, if the influencing by the leader is less effective, people become compliant. Resistance, if the influencing is not effective, the result is resistance either by obstructing or sabotaging, by asking a higher authority to overrule the leader, by attempting to persuade the leader to renounce his or her idea, by looking for excuses or by pretending to comply. Influencing tactics, there are different ways that the leader can influence. The head, logical influencing tactics address people in a rational or intellectual way. The heart, emotional influencing tactics connect the communication or decision to a person's feelings or well-being or sense of belonging. The hands, cooperative influencing tactics involve seeking advices and offering assistance. The leader reinforces the connection that they have with others. Each person has a preference for how they would like to be influenced. While selecting the best influence tactics is important to achieve the desired outcome with a person or group. Well, knowing all about it is showing a path towards a good persuader. Motivating others, leaders create a climate in which people become engaged and empowered. Well, I think that these are the important points and ideas which are going to help you in a major way. Keep in mind the basic tenets of persuasion. Influencing other, convincing other. I am sure that you will be a very good communicator and persuader one day. For a good leadership quality, you need to be a good persuader and a good influencing person. Well, student, I have shared the best of my knowledge, whatever I have, to develop this persuasive quality. You try to know the world more, meet the people, learn the experience, feel the experience, know the world. This is how you can move ahead in your life with a good persuasive skill. Till then, thank you very much. See you again in the next lecture of mine. Bye-bye.